Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do an update on the Zachary Levi situation. Now, I don't think we did the initial video on the channel. I think we did it on Clownfish Minus at clownfishminus.com because it was super political. But we're gonna talk about this situation because now we've got mainstream media outlets and Will Wheaton, of all people.
Oh, shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley. Attacking Zach Levi. And yeah, some of the stuff they say is really weird.
Well, one, they're proving him right. But two, what's weird to me? Okay, I don't get this. Okay. I mean, I do get it, but this is stupid. This reeks of the whole, communism scare back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's basically like if you are of a left-leaning side, you are allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. You're allowed to say, whatever, and that's okay. Your career's safe. But if you lean right and make any comments to the right, or they view as the right, then it's career suicide. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way at all. Everybody should be allowed to vote how they want. This is a country, supposedly a free country, that allows you to have your choice. It should not be career ending. And the very fact that all these media outlets that are trying to get his career ended because he didn't go the way they wanted is concerning, because it's like a bullying tactic to keep you in line. And now if it was going the other way, I would say the exact same thing. It's very concerning.
You're allowed to, I mean, you used to be allowed to say what you want, but I think a lot of it is just like we didn't know what celebrities' politics were unless they were really outspoken, like Barbara Streisand or something.
But it's like, get in line or we'll cancel you. It is very much like, let's hunt for commies and all that crap like they used to do back in the day, and everybody, brings up as what you should not do.
Shh, I'm hunting Nazis.
They're doing the exact same thing, but in doing so, the Hollywood Reporter, they're just proving what he said correct.
Yeah,
you're just proving him right.
Let's talk about this. Before you get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Yeah, woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Speaking of Clownfish Minus, I think we covered it. Yeah, it was one of our podcasts. This is where we first covered it. Zachary Levi supports Trump. Media melts down. Clownfishminus.com. You check it out if you're a member. I think we got a little spicier in that video than we usually do here on YouTube. But
yeah, because I mean, we usually are like more in the middle, leaning left, but it's just. This idiocy is just off the charts. And what he said wasn't even that, bad. Like he's just saying, hey, don't be mean to them.
Yeah. And I was, actually not surprised this happened because he was very loudly supporting RFK Jr. and then RFK Jr. threw in with Trump. But what's weird about this is they're like, well, he was already too weird for Hollywood. I'm like, do you know who RFK is married to? I'm just saying, Cheryl Hines. She's all over Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. And he's a Kennedy, for God's sake. The Kennedys are political and Hollywood royalty.
It doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit their narrative. And that's just it. And this is I don't know what this article says, but some other things I've seen, Will Wheaton's behavior proves him right. And it's just an attempt to bully him into line and to scare anybody else from doing the same thing.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. Because if
bullying tactic is what this is.
If you loudly support Donald Trump, we'll run a hit piece on you in the Hollywood Reporter, and then Will Wheaton. Remember Will Wheaton?
No, most people don't. That's
Willie Wheaton. He's going to come after you too. So one paragraph, and it's just like, it's so smarmy. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Did Zachary Levi just commit career suicide, or was endorsing Trump a lifeline? Basically, they're saying he was failing anyway, so he needs to go to the alt-right. When Zachary Levi stood on stage at a September 28th rally in Michigan and endorsed Donald Trump, he declared it an act of career suicide that would end his chances of working again in a very, very liberal Hollywood.
Well, he's not wrong.
The crowd ate it up, applauding the 44-year-old Shazam star for his sacrifice to the MAGA cause. But in LA, there was more than little head scratching, not because Levi was endorsing a convicted felon and sex offender.
Here's the difference, though, because you guys all keep saying stuff like that, but just because people that you like weren't convicted, even though they have done stuff, doesn't mean they didn't do stuff. Everybody knows they did. But no, they never get pushed to where they could be convicted. That's the difference.
All the buzzwords. The anti-vaxxer actor has done weirder things like that, like supporting Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for president, because lots of folks here, I'm having a hard time. I have to re-record this. I'm having a hard time reading this because it's written like a smarmy 13-year-old girl.
Not just that. You're not even doing it right. Because they're very, very liberal Hollywood, and because of their convicted felon and sex offender, anti-vaxxer.
Yeah,
Robert Kennedy Jr. You have to get the spit going and the foaming at the mouth because
Hawk 2 up.
But all this does is prove him correct. When you guys are doing this, if you don't like him and you want to discredit him, proving him right is probably the worst thing you can do. But that's what you all are doing.
I just can't believe they wrote the anti-vaxxer actor has done weirder things than that, like supporting RFK Jr. for president. Lots of folks here had already assumed Levi's mainstream career was dead. His latest big screen venture, Harold and the Purple Crayon, was one of the year's biggest box office duds. And Shazam 2 had one of the worst openings of any DC theatrical release until Joker 2 came.
I want to point out though, last year, all these actors that were in those movies that are out there going, supporting the other side, they were all in bombs too. I'm just pointing that out. You know,
right?
Whether or not his films did bomb, which it did. I'm not going to say it didn't because it did. That's not relevant. But the point he's trying to make is I'm going to be canceled and not get hired again because I dare, say I want to side with somebody else that isn't who I'm exposed to and accepted to and who I'm pushed to. And he's not wrong. And he goes on about bullying and bad behavior and stuff and how there's a lot of bullying going on. And he's not wrong. You are just proving him correct.
All right. So this is an insider. When he was cast as Shazam, it was his literal dream. Recalls an insider who has known Levi for years.
I think that's true.
Yeah. He thought this was his ticket to being The Rock or Chris Evans, but it didn't happen for him. And now he's bitter about it. In fact, Levi doesn't even live in LA anymore. He's now ensconced in a cattle ranch in Ruby Red, Texas.
Okay, wait a second. Do you have any idea how many actors don't live in Hollywood? A lot of them, especially the ones that have money or A-listers or whatever. A lot of them do not live in the area. A lot of them go to places like the Carolinas or Texas or whatever. There's a lot who don't live there. They live in Utah and stuff like that. They don't live in Hollywood.
They're not going this hard at Jeremy Renner or Harrison Ford or all the people that
Sandra Bullock,
all the people that left Hollywood because it's freaking crazy. Now he's doing Christian projects like American Underdog and The Unbreakable Boy.
As if that's a bad thing, because he's picking to choose things that follow how he believes. That makes him a bad person. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. And I would argue the same thing if it was going the other way and they were like, going to cancel somebody and approving him right the other way.
They said, yeah, he's leaning into his right wing base because, it's totally natural for him to do that because that's where his money is. I'm like, that next thing you know, they're going to be like, is Zachary Levi going to be the next Kirk Cameron? Is he just going to do religious movies forever and eat Subway by himself? What a loser. But then Rachel Zegler, wasn't she in the Shazam 2 and that bombed? Yeah,
and she sucked.
And they're like, she's the rising star. Because
she's outspoken and everything they want to hear.
So we're a little late to this. This is like a week ago.
We honestly just didn't care about
I don't give a shit. Oh my God. So is this Rayful? This is another guy from Bleeding Cool. Has got it. Will Wheaton calling him disgusting, I guess.
All Levi did was say that he was going to endorse Trump. Now, other celebrities are out there endorsing Harris right and left, and that's okay. But he just chose to go a different way. Something I love about our nerd community is how welcoming and diverse we are. Unless you vote for somebody else, then we're going to fucking descend upon you and rip you to shreds. We are a safe place for everyone who's ever been othered. Bitch, I've been othered many times. And I don't think you're a safe place. Okay. When you say othered, only the ones that react and vote the way you want will. That's what you mean. When you mean othered, you mean othered that lean your way. Because if you truly were a safe space for people who've been othered, you'd be welcoming anyone who'd be othered. There wouldn't be a purity test of which way you voted first. Would there, Will? Would there? No. We're a safe place for vulnerable people to come together and safely love all the wonderful nerdy stuff we love, unless you vote the wrong way. Or they don't think that you're diverse and inclusive enough, says the white dude, telling women and everybody else how they should think and vote. Good job, Will. And then he clarifies that safe spaces can't exist for those who continue to make others feel unsafe. You literally just told a guy who said he wanted to vote for Trump, that's all he did, that you're agreeing that he should be canceled, and which is kind of a threat because he didn't do what you wanted. You go out there and literally bully anyone who you think doesn't do what you want. That is not a safe space for everyone. Also, in the fandoms and shit, guaranteed a lot of people who don't vote the way you voted were also othered, are not white, straight, and male. And you just marginalize them twice with your white male ass. Oh, and I think you're straight too.
Yeah.
Kindly fuck off.
God. Yeah, so Nerd HQ is, I think Zachary Levi started it, and it's basically a mental health organization for people, but because it's not as inclusive, I guess, as Will Wheaton would like. Now, it's funny, just a couple weeks before, he just made the statement that Will Wheaton gave a perfect explanation of how to separate problematic artists from their art. He said he's been precisely where you are, that somebody is, racist or xenophobic or whatever.
According to them, which probably means they aren't, but they're just going to say they are because they don't vote the way they want or something stupid like that.
Yeah, he said, we were just talking about this a couple days ago. This is Will Wheaton. He said, as it relates to a guy who wrote a ton of music that was profound to me when I was a teenager, he wrote about being lonely and feeling unloved and all the things I was feeling as a teenager. Now, let's put a pin in that real quick, because Jonathan Frakes was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, and I like Jonathan Frakes. I think he's a really cool guy. But he was talking about it. He said, when we were on Star Trek, we did not realize how broken Will Wheaton's home life was. And I honestly think a lot of his mental issues are from that. Maybe he should go to Nerd HQ.
Because he feels lonely and
some
unloved.
help. Yeah.
And the thing is, though, I hate to break it to you, Will, there's a lot of people who don't vote the way you like also had similar childhoods that were broken and unloved. You don't own that. It's not a political. Why is everything about politics? Why can't people have that if you are somebody who leans left, all your truths and your lived experiences are real and true. But if you lean right, or if you're even a moderate, then you're considered the same at this point. Then everything that you do is as untrue. You have no idea. And you are the ones bullying everybody else, even though you yourself had your ass kicked by people like Will Wheaton. And it was, but it doesn't matter now because you voted a certain way. Since when has politics been the decider of who has been abused, who has been othered, and who hasn't?
It's a very current year. He's broken, but he's basically look, he's you need to separate the art from the artist. And the art belongs to the person that found it, and if it makes a connection there. So I'm like, okay, well, what if somebody really, really loves Shazam, but now he's disgusting. He's a disgusting person. What if I decided that because of Wesley Crusher, I was going to join the military, right? Because Starfleet's kind of like the space military. Well, I was going to join the military, and then you know what? Maybe I took it a few steps further. And was like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we had the military everywhere? That would be fantastic. Maybe I could join a group to make sure we have military people. So maybe one day I looked around. I'm like, hey, I am full blown fascist. And it's all because of Wesley Crusher.
Of Will Wheaton.
Thank you, Will Wheaton. For making me want to wear a uniform 24/7.
This is a stupid argument. And I'm tired.
It's
I'm just so tired of hearing this. I'm so tired of watching abusers and bullies do so and then do it even more so because they're claiming that they're speaking for the abused and bullied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's he's just a broken dude. He really is. But it sounds like, I think, Levi's smart enough to know, he's been around long enough to know that how it was going to go.
And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. I think any actor in Hollywood needs to have a plan B, I think.
Well, that's it. And the thing is that they're trying to bully him, and they're trying to make an example of him. So anybody else who might lean conservative in Hollywood, which there are people who do, they won't be stupid enough to speak out because it's only acceptable. Remember, guys, we're against bullying and othering people unless you vote the wrong way. And then, you should be canceled.
Yeah.
But so that you completely lose your argument because you just prove them right. Well,
so we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, shut up, Leslie.
Shut up, Leslie. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll probably wind up becoming a podcaster, making a lot more money doing that than he would doing shitty movies or whatever. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt, on our website, you'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.